Hello and welcome to Who Are You? We're a reasonably well done sci-fi watchcast by a couple of former strangers who are now friends and watching 2004's Battlestar Galactica. I'm Laura,
And I'm Xhafer.
and we have a special guest today.
Sure do.
Hello, everyone. I'm back. It's me, Ryan Slawinski here. I'm back for a very important episode of the show. One that I knew from the very start. I was like, I've got to be the guest on. I knew.
You did. I think you called this one, like, where I'm like, hey, we're doing BSG. You're like, oh, I'll take this season 1 episode and this season 4 episode, and we'll figure out the rest later.
I had to be crafty.
You had me fooled, though, because the last episodes? No, whatever we had you
Last
on.
episode.
Last episode was Romo Lampkin. And right before this one, we saw Romo Lampkin again. And I thought, okay, so we're not done with Romo Lampkin because Ryan's going to be on and he's going to want to talk about that crazy fool. And there was 0 Romo Lampkins in this episode.
0. I'll fool you once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Won't get fooled again. We are here because there's an important character we need to talk about. And also Dean Stockwell. I love Dean Stockwell.
Yeah.
Big fan.
I forgot about your other favorite character. I just sort of let that go, and I'm very sorry, Ryan.
I tricked you because I knew if I chose nothing but Ellen episodes, and then the last season is the one where it's like, oh, Ryan chose way ahead. It will be an Ellen episode, won't it? So season 3, I'm like, no. Let's go later and go to our good old friend Romo.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. I mean, up until this episode started, I was like, this whole Ellen thing has to be a fake out. Something else is happening. It's not Ellen. It's not that.
Wow, you were like the fans of BSG in real time when this was airing because
Yeah.
everyone hated, not everyone,
disbelief.
but like a lot of people fucking hated that the final Cylon, like, ooh, the final 5, who's the final Cylon? And it's Ellen Tigh. And people were like, no, that can't be true. I reject that. Haha, nice try. And then this episode is just Ellen Tigh being like, hey, do you know who I am? That's right. I'm actually one of the most important characters of the entire series. Haha, fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that for her. Like I
do too.
I didn't hate it when it was happening. I was like, oh, I just really thought it wasn't that, but okay.
It is, though. Yeah. Your amount of disbelief, especially because, God, we're recording this over a month
Weeks
in
ahead.
advance.
Yeah.
And you keep doubling down on it not being Ellen, and Spoiler Town is already having a giant laugh at you about it not being Ellen.
Only because they were me when this originally aired. I guarantee that. Yeah.
I like when the show literally has Sol basically look in the camera and say, Ellen is the 5th and final Cylon. And then you are just like, no, that can't be right. That can't be it. No, not fooling me, Ron. You're not going to get me. I know that you have a plan and this ain't it. And then this episode starts and it's like, hey, it's Ellen. They just basically say, it's Ellen, everyone. Did you get it?
I really liked her though in this episode. I am kind of wondering, like, how did that happen? Like, because as we find out in this episode, that they were mind wiped. They were not aware, and they didn't do it to themselves. So, like, her whole personality seems totally different.
That's what I love. I love it. Love it.
I don't know. I'd love to talk more about it, but maybe we should tell the people more about this episode. I've just like hopped right into it.
Yeah, we can get into the episode proper here. We've got Battlestar Galactica Season 4, Episode 15, No Exit. We get a crazy series recap to start.
Yeah,
to the point where I thought I had put the wrong episode on and it accidentally started like the plan or the season 4 premiere or something and just like picked the wrong one because it starts way back at the beginning and walks us through everything. The 11 Cylons known, 1 was sacrificed. And then we see Sol poisoning Ellen on New Caprica and then follow that to Ellen's resurrection.
We also found out I had kind of forgotten like where our starting number was at, so they gave that to me again, and I actually wrote it down in my notebook.
Yeah.
50,000, and now we're down to what, 30?
9. Something.
39.
A lot of people have died. A lot of people got killed on New Caprica.
39,556 is the count on this episode.
Yeah. I think I had predicted more by the end of this show, though, so maybe I'll be happy to be wrong. That'd be okay.
We've got more episodes. I absolutely love this opening. I like that they kind of go back to what the show previously did with the whole, here's the mystery box of the show, like these Cylons, and they have a plan. Remember when we teased you with the idea that they had a plan? And now we're reinterpreting that with the final 5, and now the final one, and here we are going back to that scene where Ellen nobly gets sacrificed, and it's all tragic and da-da-da, to hard cutting to her waking up in the sci-fi goo. And it's all panic attack and shaky and weird, and you're just like, yes, this is television. This is golden age stuff.
Yeah.
I this is when I had to go ahead and just accept my wrongness so I could move on in the episode and be happy. But I was like, I'm wrong about the final Cylon, but I still maintain super secret 13th Cylon.
You did call that, but
We'll get there.
I mean, we'll get there though. There's still stuff going on there. She wakes up screaming, as we mentioned. A Centurion helps her out of the goo, puts away its sharp hands.
She says it's okay. It's okay if you help me. That's all.
Yeah.
And her complete demeanor is different to what we have seen. She's now very much accepted what this is, and she knows her role and acts like the mother to even the Centurion, and it respects her. And she just, everything about Kate Vernon's performance is now in the exact opposite mode of what we've seen her play for the other 3 seasons of the show. And it's amazing to watch just how easily she just sheds the old Ellen persona in this new one, which is technically the original one, which is mind-boggling but fun to watch.
Technically the right one. Yeah. I was a little confused of like, okay, we start finding out that John hates her. And I'm like, so why does he have a goo sitting around for, like, why does he have a body and stuff? Like, what? Does he have bodies for everyone else? Like, I don't know.
Now, she has some theories about that later in the episode too.
Yeah. Okay. And there was a distance component, like, to the resurrection. You needed to be within a certain distance. So is he just like been following at a distance to what a creepy weirdo.
I mean, this would have been New Caprica, so if it's a normal resurrection hub, you know, they had one within range from New Caprica when they were doing that stuff.
That seems
because
fair.
he died on New Caprica and he got resurrected and he was like, it sucked. I had to like slash my own neck. How bad you left me out in the desert to die, you fucks. Like, we know that they resurrected on New Caprica. And this, and we're going to talk about it, but like the format of this episode is we are flashing back to Ellen during the events of the show, and we even get the bit where the resurrection hub is destroyed, and he's like, what the fuck? What do we do now? I had a whole plan. I had a plan.
Yeah, I had a plan. He's great at that.
And then we cut back between these things in the present day. As Anders is in surgery, he rambles with flashes.
Yeah.
Kato must have him clamped into a clip show device here or something, because he's just kind of all over the place.
He's doing a real hybrid babble. Yeah.
Yes. He sees all kinds of stuff, but when the drilling starts to relieve cranial pressure, he talks about Ellen joining them on the beach because she loved the water.
And she was the most important of us. And Kara's just like, huh?
But he's like, what? I remember that dinner party and it was terrible.
Kara's just looking at Sam and she's like, did you two even have scenes together? I don't think so.
I don't know why I wrote this in my notes. I don't know what the exact words were that were said, but I said he seems to be thinking about Cavil and he deceived the mother of mankind. And I was like, no, I don't know what I meant, but
Well, yeah, he has like all these jargon phrases, and I guess that kind of ties into, what Cavill's deal is in this episode. Just like fucking over the original 5 because he's upset about his creators and what
Yeah.
they've
Yeah.
done.
Yes. We go back to 18 months ago.
We find out Cavill's first name is John.
Yeah. John. And she persists in calling him John throughout, even though he hates that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's dead naming him, yeah.
He's modeled after Ellen's father, we learn.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Which makes it extra psychosexual and fucked, their relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they point out.
Yikes.
Which they do point out. He's like, thanks for that. That makes it extra fucking weird that I'm your son.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also the one who, like,
Taught her the swirl.
sorry?
Taught her the swirl, his sex technique. They reference that in this episode too.
Oh, man. I
Yeah.
did not remember that. I had blocked that out.
Yeah. They reference it in this episode how weird it is. Everything
Yeah.
about what she is and who he is and everything like that. And who the final 5 are. And it will be even weirder when we get to Sol and 6 later because it's like, you're also father, daughter, huh? That's weird. It's all weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, he not just taught her the swirl, but he like had the power in that and forced her into that.
Yeah,
So-
and as we learn in this episode, he's the one who knew all along who they were. And so him taking
Yeah.
sexual advantage of her or letting herself debase herself is even extra gross than it already was
Yeah.
in season 3.
Yeah.
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 Shout out to everyone in Spoiler Town who caught on to me calling him a motherfucker during those episodes. On purpose.
That was a safe one. Yeah, that was safe. I had no idea.
Yeah, that was pretty safe. Yeah.
Man, I'm still grappling with this.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's a mindfuck of an episode.
And we find out somewhere along these lines that he was the first one that they made. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Is but that's not his model number, right?
it is.
He's one.
He's one.
Oh,
model
he has
one.
He's one. Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
realize. He's the first one they made. So I guess did they just like slap some stuff together and not realize they threw Oedipus complex in there? Like, what?
It's a great analogy, isn't it, of parenthood and relationships with children, like that ongoing thing of like, oh, when you're a parent, your first child, you kind of muddling your way through, you don't know what you're doing. And then with the other children, you do. And uh-oh, are we playing favorites with our children? How does that make the others feel? Oh, it gets all complicated and messy. And then you add the sci-fi nature of this very story where it's like we are literally manufacturing our children. It's fun. Like, it's an interesting thing. And I like with Cavill having this because he has always been the most jaded of the Cylons. He's always been the most pointed. He's always had the closest to an actual ideology that you could follow. Like, the rest of them have always been like, God tells me we should do this. And he's like, no. Mm-mm. I think we need to talk about real things like justice.
Yeah. I have one question that I'm not sure if this episode answered or if it's coming. Do all the Cavills know about her? Or is it this one Cavill?
I don't know. I think it's always hard because you have to try and keep track of which one is which at any time. Like, if this is the Cavill that was on New Caprica, that was having sex with Ellen, that means he is the same Cavill that got shot up in the coup that they you know, I mean, you have to try and keep
Yeah.
track, and they do make
Yeah.
a point of like, the first Cavill we met did get killed on Battlestar, and then there was the one that they found on the planet. So it's like there are multiple Cavills we've met, and it's kind of hard to keep track of, is this the same one? Because unlike with 6, they don't give him different names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or hair,
Of all
hair
of
colors.
the Cylons, Cavill is the hardest one to tell apart. Except for, I guess, maybe Simon.
No, they
I
don't
don't
bother.
think
We
we
don't
ever get an
see enough
individual
Simon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like with Leoben, it always feels like it's the same Leoben no matter which
Yes.
case it is, even though
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes that's not true, but it's just the way he plays it. It feels like it's supposed to be like the continuous one from the one we met from the miniseries all the way to now is the same one.
Mhm.
If you told me the Leobans had like a weird app that was like just Leoban stuff where they keep each other updated on all things at all times, I would buy it.
Yeah.
Because they've got to compare notes on their little weird prophecies and shit. Like,
Mm.
I'd believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was confused. I was like, oh man, if all the Cavils know this is extra gross.
Yeah.
If that one Cavil, I guess, didn't know Ellen was mom, then that is
Uh,
Oedipus, isn't it? That's the story.
Yeah, he knows, and again, he's one, and he's already created a hierarchy within the Cylons by being the one who knows everything, and choosing to fuck with the memories and knowledge of the Final Five and the other Cylons. He's like a very domineering presence. He does have the "I'm the eldest, so I should know better than you."
Uh-huh.
Ellen is disappointed in John's lack of growth, as he is in hers. She tells him that it's cold, and he offers to get her some clothes because...
I've seen everything. I've seen it all.
Over on Galactica, Tyrell shows Adama the hole fracture, and Adama asks him to take his job back and to be the chief again to fix it.
Because Figursky was fucking it up in those deleted scenes you told me about. And then Laird got with the wrench, so
They didn't have
I
any
kinda
other
need the
engineers. They have a fucking brain specialist, but they have no more than 2 engineers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to have the Cylon join in. I love the acting between these two in this scene. It's this very uncomfortable, like, you don't want me. I'm a Cylon, and then just Adama turning around and being like, "Hey, my XO's a Cylon." Just like handshake, like, "Hey, I'm." My best friend's a minority. You can be in my team too.
yeah, it's got that energy.
This whole episode's got that energy.
Over in Medbay, Sam wakes up. He asks Kara to gather the fuck around 4. He sees everything from their past and needs to tell them to theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to like put a cliffhanger on it a little bit, Anders. Jesus.
Oh,
He asked for Ellen too, but had to be reminded she's dead. Although the look on his face to me said he knew she wasn't dead.
Yeah, I believe
She's
that
just
too.
not here. Yeah.
Yeah, he's all over the place. No, I mean, the Anders stuff is interesting. I mean, I think that actor's really good in this episode. I mean, we get a lot of him just giving exposition. It's very difficult. Like, the storyline is good if you're like Laura and you want to know information. But in terms of like actually being a plot, it's not that good, but he is a very good actor, and they give him all of the lines to ramble off, and he's very natural in this. I can't remember, I don't know if you've talked about this, but I think if I remember the timeline right, a part of the reason that they have him like this is because the actor in real life had like a horrific car crash. And
I
got
didn't know that.
Unawares.
And he got, thankfully he recovered, but he basically had the same injuries as Christopher Reeves did and almost was completely paralyzed. And he did recover. He ended up being fine, but that was during the writer's strike part of the show. And so they had to kind of write in how they can deal with him. And he's like, oh, I have this huge scar on the back of my neck, and they'll work that in. And so this episode is like, let's drill into the back of his head and give him that thing. So thankfully, he's all right, and he's still acting, he's still around, but it's just like, this is how weird stuff in real life gets woven into the production of the show and kind of benefits, because you're already making the comparisons as like, oh, he's kind of like acting like a hybrid. He's acting all weird and crazy and saying all this nonsense. And it pans out. Like, it really works in this episode's favor. Like, yeah, you're getting a lot of information, but it's delivered in a fun way that you just keep wanting to be like, oh, you know what? I actually do want to hear from Sam.
Yeah. I remember really disliking his storyline in this back half of this last, 10 episodes and the initial air. I will say everything that's happening feels more natural this time, knowing where it's heading. Especially this episode being the turning point for the character, really.
I have to admit that my initial watch of the show, Anders and Hilo were and Lee more so, but Anders and Hilo were just boring characters to me. I didn't care about them at all. They were just 2 buff white guys, buff handsome guys, I should say. And they were just there. But I've actually really, on rewatches, I love Anders. I think he's such an interesting, complex character. And I think him and Kara's fucked up relationship is actually one of the most compelling in the show. And it feels very real, but also very uncomfortable. And I think in this episode where we're playing around with them again, of like her being like, I want to reconnect with you, but he's literally not connected to reality anymore. Like he is lost in the past. It's sci-fi wise compelling, but I think just emotionally engaging. And I must admit, like in the past, I've spoke ill of Anders, but on my most recent rewatches of it, he's in my top 5. I think he's great.
It is exactly that dynamic too, because she spent so much of their relationship being emotionally unavailable, and now he is mentally unavailable. Nice mug.
Yeah, shout out Lee Smug.
Thank you. I just took a big drink from my I Love Lee Smug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Available at our merch store that we never fucking plug.
But yeah, he's emotionally unavailable now when he's always been emotionally available. Like Anders he's like the guy, and he's like the only guy in the show outside of Gator who's emotionally vulnerable. Like on the surface, he's much more, and not in a I get angry kind of vulnerable way that we get from a lot of the men in this show. Like he is an emotionally complex character. He's gone through a lot, and also, other than Ellen, I think the Final 5 reveal, he's the most interesting to think about when you think they were Cylon the whole time. And he's like one of the characters who's had like the most like complex, like intricate, unknowing feelings about being a Cylon. And then in this episode, we see Ellen is fun to watch because she's a completely different personality. And when you think of her on a rewatch or in retrospect, you're like, her being a Cylon actually makes her character a lot more nuanced, and there's a lot more shades to her. While the other Final 5, it's kind of like, okay, sure, Tori,
yeah, I'm like,
Tori.
okay.
the Chief, I guess, fine, I guess the Chief is one, sure. Like, they were lovers in the past, okay. Like,
sure,
as we get in this
if
episode.
we must. Speaking of Gata, since if you wanted to, we wrapped the mutiny arc last episode. Did you want to talk about that at all while you're here and we're hanging out?
Me?
Yeah, just like what are your thoughts on the mutiny arc?
I love it as a conclusion to Gata. I think it works because his character was so staunchly idealistic and stuck to his convictions and was routinely met with disappointment. He was the guy that stood up against Gaius Baltar during New Caprica, but did it within the rules, within the system, but still risked himself. And he was rewarded with Millie being killed. And so continuously that's been his character. So I think his ending works. I love that the actor's point of view was somebody in the show had to pay for the sins of humanity, and it was Gata. And I think that's a really apt point of view. I get more pissed off about the Zarek part of it. Than anything else, but
okay, say more.
I think it's just in this show their problem with side characters is they must remain the archetype we created for them. So like Callie was the bitch wife. That's what she was. That's what she ended up being. You know, like they could have had more perspective with her. And, Laird, for instance, what an interesting character he could have been, but they didn't use him. He was just the victim engineer who highlighted that the bad guys were bad. And Zarek could have been a much more nuanced political character, but they wrote it as he was a terrorist. And it always was he was a terrorist. Like, no matter what, even though, like, he said a lot of things that made sense, and for most of the show, he didn't actually do as much villainous stuff as the characters said he was. At the end of the day, the writers were like, he was a terrorist, though. And I think that's the weakness of Battlestar for me in a major way, is side characters must remain the archetype that they said they were from the very beginning. And the main characters can have the growth, and the main characters can challenge each other ideologically or philosophically, but side characters can never truly challenge the main characters and make a difference. If anything, it's like they just validate the main character's point of view. So Rosalind in the show has been challenged as being a fascist, but it's only proven to be a valid point when Lee says it. But when Zarek said it, no, that's unfair. It's totally unfair that when Zarek says, why are we forcing an economy-based system on people that have no means of money? Rosalind saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, what an asshole." We're supposed to side with that. But when
Yeah.
Lee says it, we're like, you know what? Lee's right. He has a point. That's what I get annoyed about. So with Gator, I think
Yeah.
it works well, but with Zarek, I get kind of pissed off about it.
I mean, Zarek, I don't think American television was ready for a redeemed terrorist character in 2007.
Yeah.
Nor
Not even a
now.
white man. Yeah.
Nor now. There was probably a brief period in like 2019 you could have. When did Homeland air? I didn't watch that show. Anyways, I assume it happens there. It seems like the kind of show it would happen in. So yeah, I don't just. You're right though. It is like he had to revert almost because the Zarek that we saw last before this, I don't think necessarily would have done these things.
The Zarek who would rather be put up in jail than serve on New Caprica. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm thinking about that Zarek. I'm thinking about Zarek that stood there with Rosalind, kind of knowing they were about to be taken to the death camp or shot or something. Like they knew.
Yeah.
And I wanted that Zarek to like keep growing, but they were like, haha, nope.
Yeah, he may as well signed his death warrant when he sided with the Union. this show was like, no. Also, I love Bear McCreary, but Bear McCreary was always in every scene with Zarek being like, villain. Zarek would say,
Yeah.
we should have some form of democracy. Evil music plays, and he rubs his hands together and laughs. And it's like, he didn't say anything evil.
No, he didn't. All right. So we hit theme survivor count, the aforementioned 39,556. This is down 47 from last count. We know 11 of this is the members of Quorum that died.
Yeah.
Felix, Tom, Zarek are in here, and then a handful of mutineers as well.
Do they change the number to account for Ellen existing again?
Well, she's
Ellen-
not human.
Oh, and she's not on the call.
Well-
Well, okay, if they're not human, then take Chief off the list. Take Tori off the list.
They did take the final four off the list when they revealed
Did
them.
they? Fuck.
I think so.
Okay.
I
Do they-
think Xhafer's been meticulously tracking that. Yeah.
Okay.
There's
So-
so sometimes there's like stuff where it's all like the final four revealed, but also there's a big space battle in between then and showing us the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
It's
so
a little murky.
Is the
Cylons
baby,
have never counted,
is the
though.
baby
Sharon's
counted
never
as
counted.
half?
the baby doesn't count until it's born per Hera rules.
Yeah, but it's half a human. So does it count as half?
Hera counted.
Okay.
They can Hera counted as one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if there was a 0.5 on that for 30 episodes?
Yeah.
The nerds would go crazy. Yeah.
I thought it was very brave of season 4 to start including in the opening credits the cat survivor count, and it went down 1 when we revealed that Romo's cat didn't make it after season 3. And it was very brave that they included that in the opening
So
credits.
sad.
And a little meow sound in the soundtrack for when the number is revealed.
We
Yep.
didn't call it out, but in the last episode, he did like, I hope somebody's watching my dog. Like,
Yeah.
He's a dog man now.
he's a dog man now. I don't know that it's actually that easy to flip your animal type, but I guess if they're the only ones that are left, maybe you do.
Yeah, he just throws a dog treat and Hilo goes and runs after it, yeah.
The human Labrador. Yeah.
When we come back from theme, we're on the base star. It is 1 year ago, but 6 months after New Caprica, and Ellen and Cavill are talking again. He says that he had not expected, quote, the mortal experiment to have virtually no change on her.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
you became a human and nothing changed, huh? You were still like a messy bitch.
Rude as fuck.
Which we know is not true when we watch this episode. Like,
Yeah.
he's just being
Yeah.
a mean prick about it, and I love that for him.
He's so infuriating, not just because of these little things, but he just like misses the point so much.
Mhm.
Like he talks about in this scene, he's bad about sleep. Sleep is
Yeah.
useless. I can't believe you gave us sleep. And I'm sitting here thinking about the time my nurse friend was explaining to me that there's like a brain process that happens in sleep where toxins are cleared away.
Yeah, but he's a
and, like,
machine. He's a machine. Like,
I know he.
this is why I love Cavill so much, because he articulates the inherent flaw of Battlestar Galactica, which was the initial setup is the machines rise up against us. And then the rest of the show is like, no, let's make the machines more human. And it's like, why is being more human better somehow? Because we are humans and we decree that it's better. Because we decree, oh, when you get sleep, your brain does this. He's a machine. And he's saying, I'm a
he seems to
machine.
be a really meaty machine, though. Like, if
Yeah, and
that's
he
the
resents
maintenance
it.
the meat has to do.
He
like,
resents it.
I mean,
He's like, why did you
he's-
make me flawed in this way when I could be better? Like, that's his entire argument throughout this
Yeah.
episode. And I agree
Even
to
at
an
one
extent.
point, it's just like, oh, it's a shame my body has these problems like antacid. Fucking, I need to take fucking Tums. It's a shame I'm not made of, I don't know, metal.
Also, thank you for making me look like your father and making me the eldest of the Cylons here. Like, I'm born old. I get a fucked body from the beginning. Like, that's also something that he brings up. It's like, oh, thank you for that, by the way. Like, oh, it's just my fucked up heart. Thank you for that inheritance. Like, you want us to be these perfect machines, and then you've trapped us in these meat suits because you think being a human is perfect, because you believe that, because you are one and you have a god. Your god decrees that we should be made in their image, which is your image, and I'm a machine. I'm a robot.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's it, isn't it? Is that, they came from the 13th tribe that saw themselves as perfect whatevers of this tribe. And when we're trying to make these other Cylons to help out the BattleBots, we're like, well, let's make them a version of us. But it seems like we are trying to make it a slightly limited version of us, because that's perfect. And then it turns out actually it's really not.
No.
Oops.
We live in an age nowadays in which we have to contend with AI being a part of our everyday life. It's becoming more and more prevalent, and the part of the discourse of that too is, and this is always in science fiction as well, but like when we start to merge robotics, cybernetics, AI, all of that stuff, and making it more indiscernible from humans. And it's often told in narratives like this that that's a bad thing. Like, we shouldn't merge that line, or there's a danger there. I mean, Blade Runner is often the go-to example in which we have these robot characters that are basically humans and they're subclass. And Cavill's arguing that. He's like, great, thank you for making me not only in this meat suit body, but like, what's my purpose? My purpose is to make you happy that you created this. I have no ability to grow. I have no ability to experience new things. And her argument is, well, I gave you a brain that can give you imagination and create things. And he's like, well, when I do that, you get upset. Because I'm thinking like a robot, but I'm thinking in a creative way like a robot, and that's foreign to you.
Yeah. This is very parent-child.
Sam tells the rest of the four that they were scientists who rediscovered resurrection. Tyrell and Tori were a thing. We get that here. And then Ellen was the one who figured out the last puzzle piece of the resurrection problem.
She was the most brilliant of us as well. Like, they really emphasize, like, not only did she figure it out, she was actually the smartest one of us.
Yeah.
This is the writer's room going double middles to everybody who hated Ellen.
Yeah, I love that they stuck it to the audience with just like, we're doubling down on Ellen's not only the final one, she's the best one.
Yeah. They rediscovered resurrection.
Yes.
Yeah. So it seems like they had resurrection when they left Cobol. And they did that, perhaps. But then when they get to Earth, that evolves out and we reproduce. Maybe?
Maybe. There's a lot of weird tech
maybe.
stuff in this. Like, they have the ability to like create all of this magnificent machinery. They rediscovered this previous technology, but they don't have like warp travel or like light speed travel. They only have like normal. So it took these 5 like thousands of years to get to where we are, or like where the main characters were. So it's like,
That's what they told us, yeah.
so it's like weird technical stuff muddled in this episode. Like, oh, we had this, but we don't have that. And it's like, I feel like you would have the other before you'd have this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we keep having to like stop Anders because Doc Coddle is worried about him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Coddle's like, he needs to rest. Get the fuck out of here. As he lights a cigarette in front of another pregnant lady, probably.
See, Doc Coddle's an example of like he's a side character that's like the archetype and it never changes, but it's great. Like he's just a surly he's Bones. He's Bones.
Never
McCoy.
changed, Doc Coddle.
No.
Yeah.
Never changed.
Rosalind and Lee head over to Colonial 1 in the room where it happened.
Yeah. We've like removed the bodies, but we haven't cleaned this room up at all.
Bullet holes
Yeah,
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, this is clearly damage from the massacre of Quorum 12 here. Rosalind is finding photos for the remembrance wall, and Lee discusses what's next. And Rosalind's like, hey, that's a good idea. So you should just go ahead and build a government now. Because she decides that she's done being president and puts her boyfriend's son in charge instead.
Oh, Lee says his suggestion is we should become a commonwealth now. That's his suggestion. He's like, hey, by the way, why are we all... And no joke, Zarek said this exact thing in season 1, and it was treated villainously when he said it. He's like, why are we still operating on the old planets? They don't exist anymore. We should probably make it that each ship is their own thing and work as a collective. And it's like, no, shut up. That's a stupid idea. And then when Lee bravely says it, you know, it's like, oh, a tear almost rolls down Rosalind's face as the American national anthem plays. And we all like put our hands on our hearts and go, what a brilliant politician Lee is. I just like that Lee, he's like, I wish that Battlestar went for more seasons so we could have seen Lee get a new career in each season. Lee the plumber. What would that have looked like? Lee the mortician. Yeah. What would that have looked like? Each season he gets a new career. Remember when he was just like a pilot? He became a lawyer and he became fucking president.
Yes.
And then he would bang on about like, I don't like it when people get power undeservedly. Now talk to my dad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm sure glad I don't live in a country with that kind of nepotism where, you know, family members would just get government contracts or, you know, I'm glad we live in a strong democracy.
Oh, did you love how this
transparency?
Did you love how this scene ended with hanging a lampshade on Lee's inconsistent character arc? Where I think it's this back and forth where it's just like, you know, Lee, you're always doing the right thing, but never the smart thing. And then he's like, oh, okay, I'll do the smarter thing the wronger way. And we all have a little chuckle and we all go, oh, that's our Lee. Nice little lampshade to be like, yeah, Lee's an annoying character. That's his problem.
Yeah.
Are we going to change it in the next few episodes?
It.
Maybe, but at least we're saying it exists so you don't complain about it at home. We know it exists and we haven't done anything about it.
We see Terrell finding more extensive damage that he shows Adama. He says the ship can't jump for a while, and Adama requests that a human crew be the one to repair it. It's kind of fucking rude.
I mean, yes, but also we just came off the mutiny, right?
Yeah.
I could see him being worried about perception.
Yeah.
Amongst the crew who's already been kind of flippy-floppy.
But it is that thing of Adama has always, when he encounters a Cylon and he knows they're a Cylon, he knew them as a person, his acceptance of them is almost like he just disregards them being a Cylon, like with Sharon, with Ty, with Tyrell now. So he can unironically say to him, no Cylons. And it's like you can kind of feel in the moment he's not really aware that he's saying this to a Cylon, even though he factually knows that. I think just his attitude is always just like, well, they're my friends, so they're like me, they're human. You know, they're a Cylon, but like they're me, so it's fine. But other Cylons, they're the enemy, they're the other that we still have to worry about.
Back in MedLab, Anders tells us that they left Earth to warn the colonies and try to break the cycle of violence, but they were too late because when they arrived, they had already built the Cylons and they had already revolted. He says the trip took thousands of years due to them having to travel at sublight speeds and relativity changed the flow of time for them compared to everyone else. So they don't have FTL. They can't jump.
Uh-huh.
So
I wonder, is it that their society didn't have FTL, or like us 5 people could only get our hands on a sublight ship?
Yeah,
You know?
we fucked off before everything blew up, and we had just the resurrection stuff, and we just said, ship, go that away.
yeah.
I don't think it's clear that like, oh, society didn't have FTL. It's like, well, we didn't
I
have
mean,
FTL.
it might not be a priority if you don't age.
Yeah, but,
Mm.
well,
Like, as a society, you might not care.
oh, do you take it that the society was like that? I took it at like these
Well,
5
they are.
figured out, but I took it as like these special 5 scientists have cracked this code. Uh-oh, everything's about to go tits up. Let's upload ourselves into this ship that's already waiting and fuck off to save the rest of civilization
Yeah.
out in space. I didn't feel like the rest of society had the ability to resurrect. I think they were just normal
Well, they
people.
didn't have the ability to
And they
no.
didn't,
I don't
yeah.
think the rest of society had the ability to resurrect.
Mm.
But that doesn't mean that they age.
Yeah, were the rest of society Cylon robot people?
Yeah, they
Do
said they were
Cylon
all
robot
Cylon.
people
Okay.
age?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
'Cause I
mean,
don't think they do.
yeah, not clear, I guess. Is a Cavill just going to be 60 something?
Well, they must be able to change their ages because when both Ellen and Ty were
They had to have aged.
supplemented into the society on Caprica and whatnot, they were young. Like, Bill knew them when they
Yeah.
were young. So they must have the ability to...
But that could have been a function of those bodies that Cavill had made for them.
Does that mean
because
Cavill currently just makes sure that they upload into their current aged bodies?
Why doesn't Cavill make himself younger then?
Oh, he's
If he could
spiteful.
have made them younger bodies?
Yeah, these are the
Like-
things you ask, yeah.
Yeah. We've dug too deep.
And the answer is,
Oh, no.
Laura, don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about
Yeah.
why there's a 13th one. We'll get there, but let's not think too hard.
Well, we're there right now.
Oh, good.
As Anders casually drops, there's a 13th secret Cylon in the chat before having a seizure.
Name Daniel.
I just
Name's
want to
Daniel.
point out, not only did I call super secret 13th Cylon, I also called that like these particular Cylons showed up during the war and got it called off.
Yeah.
Like I called
Mm-hmm.
How did you
I
call
did
that?
call those things.
What made you believe there was a 13th one?
the 13th tribe is like that I was
The
hanging
12,
on to that really
the 12
hard.
and 13.
We
yeah.
had the 12 tribes, but we also had a 13th tribe, and I was like, then we definitely have a 13th Cylon.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. You thought about it more than the writers did. Love that for you. Here's one of the reasons. I don't know if you've talked about this, Xhafer. I love this reason. They really wanted the final 5. Like that number. Ooh, final 5. Isn't that brilliant? 5. And then we can reveal the final 5, like the final 5 in the number. But we already revealed that we have an 8. Like
Yeah.
the number 8 for a Cylon model. Like we established. So if you reveal the final 5 numbers, it goes to 13. So, oh shit,
Yeah.
we've accidentally added one. We said there were 12, but if we said they're the final 5 Cylons and they're the final 5 numbers after 8, that doesn't add up to 12. So that's why there's a 13th. Not just because of the
Yeah.
13th tribe, they just literally didn't do the maths.
I don't know if Xhafer's purposely obscured it from me, but we've talked a little bit about like, oh, who's what number,
Mm-hmm.
and
A little. I have actively withheld Cavill being 1 and some of the other things there.
yeah, you
But-
withheld a couple of numbers from me, I think, to kind of maybe
But
keep me
also,
away
we
from
just don't
this.
know them all.
Yeah, we just don't know. They just don't say them a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if they do, it's like one time. Like one time you'll hear like a Simon is a 4
4. Yeah. I think
because Simon's
Doral-
barely
yeah,
in the
whatever.
show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like, why even have him? Like, because you needed
Yeah.
12. It's a nice number. 12
Yeah.
disciples, ooh, it's a nice number. But then when they actually had to do we have to fill them in, they're like, fuck, we actually don't really know. Like, Doral was an interesting character in the first season, but we don't really know what to do with him, so let's just not really have Doral around. Like fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Lucy Lawless. Let's make her Cylon. Like, and then they were like, we kind of don't know what to do with her. I don't know, Boxer. Like, that's unfortunately the thing is, like, when you give yourself such a big number and you promise the audience we're going to reveal them, and the promise is some of the cast will be Cylons, it's tricky. And then when you don't think the numbers through and you then say, I want my mystery box, because this is the era where Lost was a TV show. I want it to be, I want the characters to say Final Five. I want Cavill to say the Fabulous Five. I want that. But you don't think through how the maths of your numbers work. You then have to say, well, there's a 13th one.
Yeah.
I felt like it was going to happen all along. I was like, of course there's going to be an extra one, especially because Ronald D. Morris said, no, I gave myself 12 to have a limit. And it's like, well, but you can +1 that.
Yeah.
That's a baker's dozen.
Yeah. We cut back to when the whole Temple of the Five stuff was going on, and we learned that everything was not coincidence, but Ellen's actions, that they had set this up for them on their way back.
Kinda. Like, that's what he posits, and then she's like, well, I kind of did, but it wasn't meant to be. Like, things just kind of happen. It's God's will, actually. So
yeah,
my face and the others appearing like that wasn't like on purpose, but kind of like back routined into you, and God willed it for you to see. So you should believe in God. And Cavill's like, no, shut up.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand what this whole part of the conversation was about. So he was saying that they set this place up so that their faces could be revealed at this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to explain why that happened. So then you have this scene to be like, hey, we didn't forget that thing happened. Ellen did it on purpose. And then Ellen's like, no, this is a show about God. God did it. And then these two characters argue about that for a little while. Do you like, we talked about Ellen's different personality. How do you feel about now Ellen has gone from like amoral drunk housewife, like a desperate housewife wannabe contender to born again Christian?
Okay, look, it sounds like whatever Ellen had going on before this, she was like super serious scientist. If she was the one who found the key and she was the most important one. And I'm kind of glad girl got a little like time out to just go have fun. Like, it sounds like she had a lot of fun.
And she had so much fun that now she has to go back, and not only go back, she has to really lean on the religion.
Yeah.
She's like, I had a few many dicks. Now I got to go down and pray for Jesus.
Well, I'm glad she got it out of her system. She's just done now. And she's seen that, what's out there is not that great.
It's just an interesting contrast because they even show at the beginning of her previous final moment, she's very emotional. She's very human. That was the thing about Ellen, was she was one of the most human characters we've had in the show to a messy degree. Yeah. And now she's extremely not. Like, she's cold. She's very rigid. She's very, like, even her posture is just so, like, it's so, like, there's just such a harsh demeanor to her now.
I don't see her as cold. I don't know. I
did, because like Cavill's like Cavill's like explaining all this stuff, and she's just like, he doesn't get it. He's a child.
I think she's cold to him a little bit, but not so much to Boomer. Like, to Boomer, she's sort of more teacherly, but
she tries to manipulate Boomer too. She's like, Boomer, I love you. We were so close. It's like, did they share scenes? She's like, oh, I can convince you that my way is correct because he's not going to budge. You need to see that he's wrong. Yeah. So it's like she's still...
Yeah, your model is famously flip-floppy.
Like, even that's still very cold. Like, she's just calculating, like, who can I wheel and deal in this room? And that, I mean, in all fairness, that is Ellen. Like, in both versions, she was manipulative.
Yeah. Yeah. She was a wheeling and dealing while she's
the Lady Macbeth.
High heels.
Yeah.
Before we leave this scene, I need to talk about something. So when Cavill's doing the telling Deanna about the boxing, she says, well, that's not permanent. She can be rebooted. Not like what happened to the 7.
Yeah.
I need to know what happened to the 7.
What? They kind of talk about it.
Well,
Yes, but there's still some open ends in there to me. So I've got two theories. Do we want to go ahead and talk about them now, or do we want to wait till we find out what happens to the 7?
Yeah, to Daniel.
Sort of. To Daniel.
Named after the
Daniel.
Isaac Asimov character from the Foundation books.
Daniel. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Nice little wink for you at home, you nerds.
We know you guys get it. Okay, we can just talk about it later, but I need to know. Oh, and when we're manipulating Boomer here at the end of the scene, Boomer's like, "Well, I don't have any use for love. Who would I possibly want to love?" And then we smash cut to Tyrell.
I can't remember. Is this a scene? Which scene is it where Ellen's like eating fruit and she like literally offers an apple to?
It's not
Yeah.
this one yet. But
In
yeah,
case you
I
didn't
was like,
get it.
Yeah.
In case you didn't get it, everyone at home. Oh yeah, but I did love
We're
that.
going to be subtle.
I did love
yes.
that editing of like let's smash cut to Tyrell. Like we can unpack it as we get to the end of the episode, but there's nice parallels in all of these different little plots, like how they're connecting thematically and messaging wise. Like it may seem disparate at first, of like okay, we're getting these flashback of Ellen, and we're dealing with the ship has cracks in it. Like how does that really tie together? But like little editing tricks like this really thread the needle.
Yeah.
yeah, he and Saul are arguing about what they did.
Their complicitness in the genocide of humanity.
Right. And Tyrell's like, well, we bought them some time by making these bombs, getting stopping that first war. Like that gave them some time to keep going. And Saul's like, but look what it wrought. But Tori's like, well, if you want to keep going back, like this is humanity's fault because they made us back on Kobol. Like we're the 13th tribe. So
And then Sol argues, yeah, but we can keep pointing back to the very germ that crawled out of the primordial ooze and blame that too. Like at some point you have to take ownership of your own actions, your own choices that are made. Like we were responsible for this. Like we created this situation. Somebody created our situation, but like that doesn't mean we can just wash our hands of this. And Tori's just like shaking her head, being like, no. No, don't want to do that.
Tori's like, didn't you see me and Baltar a while back? I'm not about that.
No. No, I'm not about that. And it's good, again, as a contrast to what we get of Cavill, because Cavill's the exact opposite. He's like, no, this isn't our fault. I'm just delivering justice upon our oppressors. Like, I'm not going to change on that. And Sol's just like, at some point, we have to stop the cycle of violence. And that's coming from Sol Ty.
Yeah, I really like how Saul is shaping up so far. I don't think you've gotten to hear that episode yet, Ryan, but I was like, wow, I feel like there's some real growth happening here. Yeah, but they're having this argument outside of Anders' sick room or whatever.
Sick room. Yeah.
I can't remember what these things are called.
His fully sick room where he's got a cool poster of a BMX bike. Yeah.
Black lights. Yeah.
Black lights. Yeah. His black light shows all the hairline fractures of the ship. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty in there because of all the little patterns.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've brought in a specialist who...
Not just any specialist. Did you clock this?
I didn't, but Aaron was like, is that John Hodgman?
It is John Hodgman.
I had to look him up because I'm like, oh, this guy feels like a guy. Like, he doesn't feel like just a normal actor. He feels like a little shticky guy, and I had to look him up.
Little shticky guy is actually, I think, on his business card.
Because he did like a lot of, what was it, Mac commercials? He did a lot of like...
He's done all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I looked him up, and he's like famous for doing like this nerd character for a bunch of like Apple commercials. He did like 40 of them or something.
Was he the PC?
I don't know. Again,
remember the PC versus the Mac commercials? One of them's like
and
big
it was
old nerd?
Justin Long was the Mac.
Yeah. I don't know, but you have to, everyone go look up this guy. He's a brain specialist in this, and his performance is so weird because it's so not from this show. It's like
he's an author.
Yeah.
And they're very funny books.
Good. I loved his
They're
performance. He came in and he's like, hey, by the way, I don't do the grim dark of this show. I am going to perform this like a Babylon 5 side character.
Yeah, he's like a happy little nerd. Like, how
Yeah.
are you a happy little nerd right now? Also, I was kind of mad on Doc Cottle's behalf because on like New Caprica, he was doing all of the work on those Cylons. Remember, he was having to be like the surgeon on call, and I was like, I feel like a brain guy could have been helpful in that, and I don't think we had this brain guy doing this.
You're assuming he was on Caprica.
He could have been not on New Caprica. I guess he could have still been in the fleet
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, Pegasus presumably had a doctor.
Yeah. The fuck?
Even if it didn't before it joined the fleet, maybe it was this guy. Like, there's stuff.
Can you imagine this character being a happy little nerd on Pegasus when it was going through everything in Razor? Like,
Where was his story in
What?
Razor where Kane executed the XO on the bridge and he's just sitting in the background being like, oh, brain to collect. He's like an evil scientist.
for my jars.
And he turns to his lab assistant and it's Jeffrey Combs and he's just like in a big white coat. He's like, yes, let's resurrect this. Let's reanimate it.
I understood that reference. Yeah, so they talk about where the bullet is lodged. It's rather precarious. Another seizure is going to mean death. And he's got a condition that they affectionately call word salad.
I wish I hadn't heard any word salad recently from positions of power in my country.
Anyone? Yeah.
Vote for Anders, everyone.
Vote for Anders.
No.
In your next election. Vote
got a
for
plan.
this Anders. You can trust him.
Coherent. That's actually just his only tagline on the campaign. Coherent. Cottle presses that they need to rush this surgery here. And when he's all like, no, I need to like write my novel before you do this. He looks over at Kara and Kara's all like, prep him for fucking surgery, guys. We're doing this now.
Yeah, I think the excuse is that because he has this aphasia word salad, they can't get the straight answer from him. So they're going to go with what Kara says to do.
Yeah.
So
Thankfully, he has an injury that lets him speak in mysterious prose that's so good for mystery box storytelling. The circle must be broken. Daniel was the key. Yeah, these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ellen loved water. It's like, what?
We cut back in time to the start of the Silent Civil War as Cavill gives Ellen a drink. He tells her that he needs her to rebuild Resurrection because the hub has been destroyed. But she insists that she can't do it alone.
yeah, but he thinks if I just cut you open, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're just going to do this super invasive surgery where I splay your brain out on a table and poke it with electrodes until I find out what I need to know.
Yeah.
Adds up.
Cool.
Okay.
Where's Josh Hodgman for this? This is the exact kind of thing he'd be really geeked about.
But again, nice parallel of like brain surgery stuff in both storylines here. And he's doing it with coercion and he's like, you're going to do it against your will. And yeah, he's just vindictive. He's a vindictive man. And that's his problem. Like, he's a man. He doesn't want to be a man. He wants to be more than that. He's supposed to be special. Like, they always have like these nice little back and forths throughout this episode where she's like, oh, did I make you blush? And he's like, fuck. Yes, you did. But that's like just another fault of being in this stupid body. Like, he just has this all of the time. And it's just like, oh, every time she like tries to like reason with him, it just makes him madder because it just makes him feel more insecure. So she's like, oh, you're doing this whole way of doing it through technology in this way. Have you thought about this? And it's like, well, no, because I have meat paws. If I had cool metal hands, I could do it better. But no, you have to make me like a loser.
I don't know. Like, Cavill is assuming a lot. Like, the other Cylons, the 13th tribe Cylons that have been around for a long time, like, it seems like historically we would have tried a bunch of different machine things, right? And we probably settled on the one that worked. So like,
well, what
to
defines work
assume-
though? Because it still went up tits up for them.
That's
Like, it
true.
didn't
They
work
did
out for
destroy
them
them
either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work for them. So how do they know any better? And the answer is because it's worked because we say so. And that's his argument. It's like, well, I'm sorry that your parentalism isn't good enough for me. I need my own free will, and you've trapped me. Have we already had the speech, his big speech, where he's like upset that he couldn't see supernovas and things like that?
We're still coming to that, I'm pretty sure.
That's yeah. But yeah, he has, and I said in my first appearance on our Battlestar coverage that I dropped off Battlestar and then I reconnected to Battlestar because there was a guest star that was a regular, like a villainous force in it, and I came back on because I wanted to see that, and it was Dean Stockwell. I love Dean Stockwell. Yeah. I love Quantum Leap. I love Dean Stockwell in Quantum Leap, and I was so curious to see him as this villainous force in the show. So when I came back, it was like a bit way through season 3, and he was just so wonderful, just hamming it up, doing his Dean Stockwell thing. And it is special. Like, this episode is carried on the back of Dean Stockwell in a lot of ways. Like, he's just so magnetic. And even if you say Cavill's petulant or he's whatever, Dean Stockwell sells the shit out of it. He's so good in this role. And he's like one of the most interesting Cylons because they wrote for him. Like, you can tell they wrote for Dean Stockwell. They just kind of gave up with other Cylons. They're like, I don't know what to do. And then with and the biggest sin is Cavill should have been in the show more, because this is the episode. How many do we have left? This is the episode in which we actually articulate what the Cylons' fucking problem is right now. And we've just kind of nebulously been drifting along going, they were slaves once, and they didn't like that, and now they're going after us. But we haven't really articulated it any deeper. Yeah. And this is the episode where we say, no, let's sit down and give them a point of view. And it's like, guys, we only have like a handful of episodes left. Maybe you should have done this way more.
2 things. I think it's interesting that the beef has been, they were slaves and they were mad about it. And these Cylons were never slaves. They weren't even like... he calls the Centurions like his cousins or something, but it's like you weren't one of them. You were never enslaved by humans.
Yeah, he's Killmonger.
Yeah.
And it's that idea of like our ancestors were enslaved, and I'm going to oppress you so you know how it feels.
Yeah. And other thing, we did accidentally miss the supernova thing. That was back at the Temple of the Five or whatever. He gives this big rant about, I wish I could have seen the supernova without these pathetic human eyes.
To feel the solar waves on my body. It's one of the best speeches in the show. It's one of the most glorious speeches, and it's so, like, it's stunning. It's why I wanted to do the episode as well. It's just like that speech. I've watched that just in isolation. I've gone back and rewatched that, and I just nod along going, yeah, because that's the show. The show said, this is a show in which a bunch of robots have now ascended to a humanoid form, and they have a problem with us. And for so much of the show, they never really grapple with, why does making them a human be better? Why is that better other than for infiltration? For the most of the show, they've said, because they've got God. Because we've got this all these human ideas. It's not like they boil the Cylons down to very human concepts, and the Cylons, like 6, are fine with that. And I've always been like, why? They are robots. They are not us. And finally, Cavill comes along and he says, I have a problem with that. It doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't work for me. He has this big, glorious speech, and Ellen just looks at him and goes, but if you knew God's will, you would understand that you're wrong. Because this form, this body, this way of thinking is the only way to do it, even though, historically speaking, we've shown that it's lead to ruin.
Yeah.
And she looks at him unironically and says it with no sense of doubt, and he's just like flummoxed. He's just driven more insane by it.
I feel like even the Cylons that don't have a strong, like, one true Cylon god motivation, they're still grasping for like human love. They're like, human love must be it. That's the thing that's really important.
Yeah. And it's like, why did you make us feel these things? Why did you give her like a bipolar personality disorder? Like, why did you do that? What does that benefit? What does making a robot depressed give us. This is the thing. This is so like spot on. It's just, and I love it. I love this speech. It's amazing stuff.
We cut back to Anders, who speed runs their history. Cavill was the first. The monotheism that the Cylons have actually comes from the Centurions.
Interesting.
They say that. The Centurions are the ones who had the faith in one true God, which is why this time was going to be different.
Okay, so the 13th tribe was not the monotheism?
They might have also been, but when they arrived, they didn't bring religion to the Centurions. The Centurions had a monotheistic religion.
Gotcha.
But they enforced it still. Like, they may have already had it, but they enforced this idea when they created the human models. Hence, Cavill is like, I don't, though.
Cavill helped them make all the other models, too, they say in here.
He was the first. He helped make everyone. Ellen says that, the cycle of violence can end if we create robots that can embrace love and mercy.
Yeah.
And we did such a great job at that.
Nailed it.
It doesn't work like that, though. Like, she is very naive. Like, she's that idea of like, well, have you ever seen the TV series Pluribus? That would be the ideal of our lives. If we all just collectively were happy and everything worked out for us. And it's like, sorry, it doesn't work like that. And that, but if we just keep trying, it will. And Cavill, his existence is saying it doesn't.
Yeah.
So Cavill turned on them, killed them, resurrected them in bodies, implanted memories, and put them out amongst humanity so that they could witness the death of everyone else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very specifically, everyone was planted to be able to witness the genocide.
Yeah.
Holocaust, he says.
Important.
He says Holocaust,
The Holocaust.
specifically.
Yeah, which is, that statement itself has implications.
Mm-hmm. And then she's more confused of like, but then you didn't end it there, did you? You had this big Machiavellian plan, and you've kept going. We didn't die there. You made sure that all of us could be here. And then you've put us through the ringer again and again and again and again. And now on you, Caprica, you take Soul's eye. I have sex. Like, you just keep doing it. What's the point? And it's just like, it's like, if you don't want to be human, then why are you so driven by revenge? A very human trait.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not driven by revenge. I'm driven by justice. And it's like,
yes, justice for my Centurion brethren. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's the, like, again, a brilliant thing about him as an antagonist. Like, he refuses being human, but he's inherently human. And he loathes it, and he can't break from it. Like, I made sleep not happen, but I can't not blush. I can't not have horny feelings. I can't remove those things, and I can't remove the bloodlust. And I'll justify it as justice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ellen's like, this seems like a lot of work for the convenience of the plot. And he's all like, eh. There's a quick scene in here, too, where we find out Soul hasn't had anything to drink in weeks.
Yeah, no booze around.
Six tells us, and also he feels the baby kick.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was a little surprised it's been weeks. When exactly did the Earth happen? How much time was in between Earth and the mutiny? Because we know we're right after the mutiny.
Yeah.
And that's when Saul told Adama, I think we've had enough. I just don't feel like it's actually been weeks since he had a drink. Maybe it's been weeks since alcohol was in their quarters, but.
Yeah, it was making her sick. And then she rubs her belly to let you know she's pregnant.
When did she get out of the brig exactly? Was it at Earth? We just decided she doesn't need to be in the brig anymore?
Yeah, well, I know that they've been taking her to the doctor. Like, they've been giving her
but
things,
when
but I
did
don't know
she,
when
like, shack up with Saul?
Yeah. I hate this scene, by the way, because it's like this false, like, sweet moment where it's like, Saul, the baby's been moving, and he's like, oh, that's so great. I don't believe you, though. And then he feels that nothing's happening, all that. It's very hokey. And I think there is something to, it is uncomfortable not only is it that this episode's highlighting that he is her creator / father, like Ellen and Saul are Adam and Eve very much so, which is crazy to say. He was her jailer,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
And they're treating this in the show as like what a sweet thing this is. There's
No.
he tortured her. Like he beat her. Like he was her jailer. He's a, and now we had this other
And
layer. And it's like,
he was superimposing Ellen's face, like in his head, or maybe she was doing. I don't know. Somehow Ellen's face was on her, and this is weird and gross.
and why? And 6 is happy.
Yeah.
And also in the very beginning when they showed us like the timeline of like the show, the image we got of 6 was her post killing the baby in the miniseries. That was the image that they showed. And I think that's a very interesting thing to choose and then have this be her scene in the episode.
Yeah.
And it's like, here's my question. Has she gone on a major arc in that way where it's like, oh, she started out as someone who doesn't care and she would literally kill a baby with her own hands. And then by the end, she's going to have a baby and it's really, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I feel like what I've gotten from the 6 character, or at least the 6 model, maybe not all 6s because we've met a bunch of 6s, but the 6 model, the understanding I was starting to come to about the baby thing is part of it was like really driven by jealousy. Like she really wants that. The 6 model really wants to be a mother and procreate. And so some of that was some complicated stuff going on, and that's why she does what she does in the miniseries. But
I mean, at one point she said she does it out of mercy too.
Yeah, because she's the most religious until we meet Leoben. She's the most staunchly religious from the beginning. She's like, this is a mercy from God, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I hated it. This was my least favorite scene of the episode because it's just like we need to check in.
Creepy. It's so creepy.
Yeah. Ellen tells us that Cavill killed Daniel before they could make any copies. Like they did a thing where they messed up his like entire genome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that part. I guess that they weren't able to make copies. I know that there was contamination of the amniotic fluid.
Well, they're not able to make any more copies.
That's okay.
It's iffy.
They make
it's
it
iffy.
sound like the reveal. John did it. Cavill did this because he's jealous, and Ellen does kind of concede that she was playing favorites. That Daniel was her favorite. He was the artist. He was, that type of thing, and Cavill got jealous, and so he poisoned the amniotic fluid that like basically shuts down being able to make more. And then I can't remember the exact line, but there was something about like, and then he kind of fucked with the actual one that was around. So basically he shut down the 7s entirely. Like he didn't box them. He fucking murdered. He poisoned the earth. He basically salted the earth of that, and we can't do it again. And he's like lost is what Ellen says. And Cavill's just like, I'm not admitting to any of that. Why would I? And it's like, but you did though. And he's like,
So, you guys don't have to say anything because you can't.
We probably won't, but go ahead and ask.
But I feel like we've got the Daniel's got to be around, right? It's not just like, oh, we have this one Cylon that never happened. But we brought him up for some reason.
Yeah.
I said maybe.
And I told Aaron, I was like, I don't know if I think this is it or not, but I was like, I mean, Gaius is pretty fucked up.
Oh, you think it's Gaius?
Yeah,
now it's like, who's the true final Cylon? It's not Ellen, the true final Cylon.
When he drops into his farmer accent again and goes, well, my name was Daniel before I moved.
Boxy's real name is Daniel.
Boxy, of course.
It's Boxy.
I was like,
Daniel Boxy.
Yeah, you couldn't box me.
like it could, like Gaius is a fucked up little man. Like, we haven't really seen like art from him, but
is there anyone in the cast that has artistic experiences? And the one is Starbuck. And Anders says, I'm sorry, your whole deal is not here. I haven't retrieved anything of what your fucking problem is. Just so that they hammer it in. Like, they basically look at the camera and they say to Laura, we don't think she's a Cylon. We can't confirm it. The guy who has the wiki and the lore, he did the Control F Starbuck and it didn't come up. It just didn't come up.
Yeah, I was like,
maybe someone hasn't filled that in yet.
it's like Starbucks doing the art shit, but Leoben was trying to do an art with her, and I was like, okay, so did we? Is it like Xhafer said, and we had some of them? We can't make any more of them, but Leoben's are kind of fucked up too. And he was kind of standing there doing the art thing.
What's Leoben's first name? What's going on there? I don't know. Yeah. The 13th Cylon is actually just Leoben.
Yeah, that would be.
But with his hair parted on the other side.
They took what they could save from the model.
Yeah. Oh, you know who else is an artist? Adama builds little ships.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I don't want Gaius to be a Cylon. I think it's more interesting if he's just a human who sucks. But I don't know. I want to know more about Daniel. Need to know more about Daniel.
Damn, Daniel.
Oh, and she does say some stuff to Boomer about you were close to Daniel. So,
and you don't remember, but hey, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After this, we got to Tyrell showing Adama the real state of the ship. She's fallen apart. He throws the black light on and it's just glowing everywhere. And you're all like, but Baltar's never been down here.
The bank bus is like four floors that way.
Yeah. He has a solution, which is the Cylons have some organic resin that will grow and harden on the bones of the ship. And Adama's all like, grow?
Organic? No.
Gross. Icky.
Gross.
That's icky.
Yucky. Icky. No, thank you. Yuck. Not yum yum. I like how this
Not
ties beautifully into the Cavill stuff because he's all like, it would be better if I was just a robot, if I was just metal, I would last longer, everything would be fine for me. And then we're literally cutting to the story about like, that also deteriorates, that also doesn't last, and maybe the thing that solves that is merging both metal and organic into one kind of being, like a Cylon, like a humanoid Cylon like you. Like, I like that this little subplot is kind of feeding into that part of the narrative without being so overt about it. It's just, it's like, it's a nice idea. Like, Battlestar always is great with like keeping track of like little details like water, food, and now they're keeping track of like the ship was old beforehand and it's been shot up to shit a lot. Surely it's falling apart, and also it's a nice way of, getting towards the end of the series, like let's literally make the ship fall apart. But how about the solution or the potential solution kind of tie into the interesting sci-fi themes and messaging that we've had in the show and specifically this episode?
Yeah.
Bill's like, I don't like that though. I don't like metaphysics.
Change bad.
I'm going to storm off to my room. I hope there's no cracks there. That will trigger me.
I hope it looks fine.
Sam is about to go into surgery. Kara stays with him, confessing she had hoped he had the answers, but she was like, I was selfish. I should have pushed for surgery sooner. And I'm just like, you asked for it fucking immediately. You said prep him for surgery.
Yeah.
You did not wait any time here.
Yeah. But she definitely thought she was the 7, and she's realizing, like, I'm not a dude. Oh, no.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Daniel, that's not me.
Danielle?
Danielle? Ooh. And then Bill gets back to his quarters. He sees the stress fractures as he's drinking. On the base ship, Ellen references the French Revolution on way to her execution.
Okay. She is wearing also a fabulous, like, funeral dress,
Yeah.
but also giving, like, Marie Antoinette, like, beautiful, elegant thing.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
No, it was very.
Mhm.
They've done a lot of fun imagery with her in this episode. I mean,
Uh-huh.
her being naked at the beginning in a very vulnerable state, and then her much more confident and getting these clothes, and like even when she's like laying in the space and Cavill gave her like the drink, just the way she accepted it was very like, oh yes, thank you. Finally, I've been craving this. Like, there's still like these little
Yeah.
hints of the Ellen that we've known, but this is a different character. And I must admit too, like, I have had frustrations with BSG when you have you have a sleeper agent. Like, that's the story. Like, oh, we have sleeper agents in our midst. What do we do? And basically no times in the show have we had, when that sleeper agent wakes up, they regain their original personalities. That doesn't happen. Only Ellen has had that.
Yeah.
Only Ellen has been, when we revealed their Cylon, we actually get a different, like, oh, this is what they really like. While the rest of them, it's like, yeah, we already kind of knew what they were really like. They just also happen to be Cylon as well. And it's like, you kind of want that in your, oh, the sleeper agent has been woken up and now they're different.
Give me Italia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Garibaldi to an extent, you know, where that was a play on that too. But yeah, you kind of just want that, and they don't give it to you only with Ellen. They do give it with you with Ellen, and it's fascinating to see play out, and just how she, you know, is using, like, you don't know, like, how much of this is just what her personality is always, and how much of it is like she's leaning on what she used to be like, because we do get that. Like, they talk about like how her and Sol had a fucked up marriage, and she's like, yeah, but that's love, you know. So she still doesn't understand how toxic her fucking love is.
Kara and the three wait outside a med lab. They say it's been way too long. It's been way more than the 2 hours Cottle said surgery was going to take. But he comes out shortly after with the bullet, tells us Sam will live. Boomer takes Ellen to a raptor and jumps her away rather than seeing her executed.
Yeah.
Nurse Ishay tells Starbuck nobody is home inside of Sam's head. He's got no brain activity.
Nice bedside manner from her.
Oh yeah, she's been great
100%.
at that.
Well, she learned from Cottle.
She's British, so
she's the one who was also like, dude, tell him he's not the father, like right in front of Daryl. So
Yeah. Whoops.
Oh, what did you feel, Laura, about Boomer being like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Ellen, come with me. We're leaving.
Well, I was like, we know that we felt she probably got away and all that Resurrection Hub business. So to me, I guess, because I was thinking about it too, we saw Cavill get killed while unboxing Deanna. So this Cavill is definitely different because he was over here. But yeah, I was like, okay, well, this episode is setting up that they're going to show back up, right? Like,
yeah, and but also like for Boomer, she's had another heel turn. Like, she's been paired up with Cavill. She's been his pet.
Yes.
Yeah.
The show's words, not mine.
Yeah, not mine either. The show's, and now she's like, I'm going to go back, and it's like, how much of it is because she's convinced by Ellen, and how much of it is the show saying, well, she loves Tyrrell still, because that's what the visual language is like. Why do I need love? Hard cut to Tyrrell. Now at the end of the episode, she's like, I've got to leave. It's like, what's she leaving for?
Yeah.
And it's like, is Boomer just always going to be defined by she does anything because man?
She kind of seems like recency bias, the Cylon. Like, whoever I talk to last is the most convincing.
I'd love to see her talk to Doral. what would she be swayed to do there?
Jesus, yeah.
Probably move some stuff around.
Have you heard about
whatever they're using Dorals for?
Have you seen this thing that we've invented? It's called a spreadsheet. Shows how to do an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, all of Doral's work is suddenly being done by all the Sharons. Yeah, no, Boomer has been the floppiest character. Like, we've established Sharons are not good.
Notoriously flip-floppies.
They are not good at having
convictions.
A thing that they stick with, which, convictions. Like, they're just not good at it. So part of me's like, she might have
Do you think that's on purpose? Like, that's why they're designed as like a sleeper model?
Kinda. But again, I love the point of like, why would you make your super secret sleeper model depressed? Like, all of them are depressed. Like, that's not very good
Mhm.
for what you need. They are all
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting when she shows back up at Galactica. Like, I feel like there's a very good chance that the Cavils are going to be hot on them heels, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that
Yeah.
Raptor's got a bug in it, or a beacon, a homing device. I
Something.
don't know, man.
We'll probably find out soon. But we've got one last note on this episode. The button on the episode is Adama calling up Tyrell and telling him to do what he has to save the ship.
Yeah. Which
He
makes me
conceded.
worried for the
Mhm.
ship.
Oh, come on! Don't you want the show to have like, and the Battlestar Galactica itself becomes all fleshy on the inside?
There is, like, this storyline leads to a moment, and I don't even remember if it's like how called out the moment is, but for some reason it's just like been burned into my memory banks since the first watching of the show. And we're approaching it, and I will say when we get there.
Nice.
But yeah, there's one that's just like a punch in the gut coming up.
What? No. Are you sure?
Oh, and it's like it's not even. It's a sound effect.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's
so if the ship gets organic material all over it and it becomes fleshy, does it also become moist inside? I feel like every time we see an organic ship in sci-fi, it's also very moist.
Yeah. Yeah. Ellen's going to be so thrilled. She's like, yes. Can I fuck this one? Yeah. Oh, I miss this messy bitch. This was a glorious, fun episode. Very entertaining episode, very thought-provoking. And, you know, it's very hard to balance, like, here's the episode where we just explain a bunch of stuff. Like, here's where we just dump, like, a bunch of stuff because we have to, because the show's ending. We can't just pussyfoot around anymore. It's very difficult to get that balance of, is this just a lore dump episode? But I think there's enough character stuff in here.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it.
yeah. All right. Well, if you did like it, you should probably rate it. So, how'd you feel about this one on a scale of 1 to 13 secret Cylon models?
Ryan, you have to go first. You're the guest.
Yeah.
That's the rules.
I loved it. Of course I did. I love Ellen. I love the choice of flashing back to her and seeing her in the different periods of the show since she's been absent. I think all of the conversations about what it is to be human, what it is to believe in God, all of that stuff is wonderful. Cavill is a fascinating character, and Dean Stockwell is marvelous in the role. And, you know, I think in a modern lens, this episode is interesting to think about in multiple ways. Like, I think there's a way that, like, I would love to read a thesis paper or hear a review about the trans reading of this episode, because there's so many moments in this where Cavill's basically saying, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be in this body. I should be something different.
Yeah.
And he's met with his parent saying, no, you're wrong. I created you this way. You're supposed to be a boy. And it does really feel like that. And like even calling him by John, he's like, I don't want to be called that. And she's like, I don't care. That's what I've named you. You're mine. You're an extension of me. And I'm going to triple down on that. This is God's design and God's purpose for you. I think there's an interesting way of looking at this episode from a LGBTQ plus lens. And that was something that really caught me off guard. I don't think it's something they intended. I really don't get that. But it's something that makes this episode interesting in a modern way, because also I'm coming at this, you know, I've seen it when it initially aired. I'm no longer wowed by the mystery box is finally answering things, da-da-da. What else is there? And there's lots of character things like that is either intentional or not, but it adds a lot of flavor and it gives you something to chew on. So I give this 12 overall. I don't give it the full 13 because there are some elements that I feel drag, and also I just hated that scene with Six and Ty. It's just gross. I don't like that the
Yeah.
show's not aware it's gross. The show's aware when certain things are gross and then really not with other things. And it really
Yes.
befuddles me. It's like they even reference in this episode in a way like, oh, the Cylons need to force breed things. And it's like, oh, so you are aware that it's weird, right? And then other times it's like, no, it's sweet.
Yeah, no, Xhafer and I definitely have had that conversation of like, wow, we were not thinking about how gross this was at this time. Like 20 years later, we're sitting here going, yikes, guys, yikes on
Yeah.
bikes.
And, this episode too, it depends your view. Sci-fi allegory is very difficult, especially when you make a race a sci-fi allegory, and the Cylons have always been fucking messy when you try to map them onto anything in the real world because it doesn't fully track. It's like you want to think of them as slaves, but then also they are oppressors. And it's like, okay, there's a dialogue there. It's like, oh, but you should feel sorry for these people. You should think of them as people. You should feel sorry for them, but also they completely genocided the human race. The remainder that they found, they put in farms and sexually abused them. Like, and then we're supposed to turn around and be like, but aren't they the victim too, in a way? It's like, it's kind of hard to... It kind of gets messy and messy. And this episode kind of like splashes around in that messiness and actually addresses, we didn't think this through. And it's fucking messy. And here's our characters trying to justify why it isn't. And in the end, the answer is, no, it's a big sloppy thing that we've created here. And let's just keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 11 just because I don't know. I don't think I've hit 12 that often in this season. I don't know. I should keep notes, but I don't because why?
Fair enough.
But I really liked it a lot too. I honestly was not bothered by any of Anders just telling me what's going on. Because the second we brought up Daniel, I was like, what the fuck? I need to know all about Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine you watching this and just fist pumping, going, I nailed it. Yes.
I got a text at 1:30 in the morning that was just all like, called it. That's all it said. All
I
caps.
absolutely adore that. If you listen back, we should really create a montage, clip shows of all the time Laura was like, Ellen's a Cylon, and then going, no, that can't be right. We can't have two blondes. We can't, no, she can't be a Cylon because she's an alcoholic. Like, she can't be a Cylon because I like her now. I absolutely adore the journey of Ellen timing this hated character to then you in season 3 being like, hey, you know what? I like her now. I feel so sorry for this woman. Too bad she's dead, and now she's back, and she's like, I'm a big cunt again. But I'm a new flavor of it, so welcome back to my world.
Surprise, bitch. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
She's got real I'm the mom of the year vibes. I don't know how else to
Her and the mom
describe
from Carrie would be friends.
Yeah, she's definitely
Yeah.
like, I've never made a mistake in my life, mom, which is like, can see there's maybe 8 of them hanging around. I like her. I'm glad she's back. I'm hoping we get her for the what do we have left? 4 episodes at this point, or is it still 5?
5 episodes.
The final
But
5?
The final 5 episodes, yes. I'm sure that's what I could hear the All American Rejects playing in the background from the ads from this era. 5 episodes left, but they are a bit extended length towards the end. So
I don't mind.
it's like 6 episodes of content in 5 episodes.
Yeah. All right.
12 or 10 out of 12 is my rating.
Okay.
All the things Ryan said I agree with. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, done. Nailed it. Expert.
Jafez
pro.
is like, Ryan took all my points. How dare you?
Fuck. No,
For the
it's why
guest, you can have all the points.
Thank you.
We have guests so that I don't have to talk as much. Right? That's the goal. Fuck. Anyways, Ryan, it's been lovely having you on the podcast again. Where can the people find you if they want to hear more?
Wow, you're all screaming and shouting, smashing your fists on the table, saying, more, more, more.
Yeah.
More Ryan.
Yum.
Yum,
Yum.
yum,
Yum.
podcast.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yum Yum podcast is the greatest place. You can search it up on the internet. We're on all of those places. We're on all of the podcasting sites, all of the social medias. We have a Patreon as well. We actually did our thoughts on Battlestar Galactica. My wife and I, the hosts, and Rachel had never seen Battlestar Galactica, so we just randomly watched it. I was like, hey, I got this DVD set, let's give it a watch. And then we talked about it. So if you want to hear more of our thoughts, that's on our Patreon. But at the moment on our main feed, we're on the final season of Killjoys, a Sci-Fi Channel series about a bunch of ragtag bounty hunters who have stumbled across an intergalactic conspiracy. And it's fun. It's a really good time. Wonderful characters. Original series, like it's not based on anything. It's just its own thing. It's a show created by Michelle Lovretta, who did Lost Girl, which was a very popular show with some people that I've still yet to watch. But no, we've been having a blast with that. It's the fun thing about it is we did The Expanse a little while ago, and now we're doing Killjoys, and you get to see a bunch of the same actors just in these shows because it's all Canadians. So you get to see, hey, it's that guy, they're playing this role, and oh, this character doesn't appear again because that guy went on to play Marco in The Expanse, so he wasn't available. Like, this is just kind of the fun of the mid-2010s of science fiction television, and we've been having a blast. So everyone make sure to check us out. And we hope at some point in the future to have you both on again. We've had you both as guests in the past, covering random episodes of B5. I think I can't remember, it was the last one we did, Day of the Dead. That's an aged like fine wine.
Yes.
An aged like fine wine.
Yeah. You guessed it on our Day of the Dead, and
On
we
yours,
guessed it on your Day of the Dead. And then I did an episode of Discovery in there, too.
Mm-hmm.
What an episode of it. What an episode it was.
But yeah, I would be happy to be back on, and everyone should go give Yum Yum a listen. Next week, we've got Season 4, Episode 16, Deadlock. We'll be joined by Emmy winner Elliot Blake, executive producer on Sisters Grimm and the Audible original series Moriarty. He's going to be talking to us about his new book, Into the Great.
Yeah.
And also we'll be talking about this episode of Battlestar Galactica, and I'll probably ask him what it's like to work with Ben Kingsley, because that guy just seems like such a fucking
Sir
joy.
Ben Kingsley, please.
Sir Ben
don't
Kingsley.
just call him Ben.
All right. Ellen escapes from Cavill, only to face a momentous choice regarding the 13th tribe and the final 5 Cylons. That's all you get.
Yikes.
Whoa, crazy.
Sounds like someone might be deadlocked.
Ellen just comes aboard and says, Lee, I should be president. It should be me. My first rule is that we should all have Margs.
Hell yes. President Margs for president. Yeah. No, I wish I had kept count now of Xhafer had once told me like how many different presidents were going to be in the show, and I did not write that down, and I don't remember, and I have no idea if we've hit president count.
Who are you voting for in the 2026 election? Lee, Ellen Ty, or Anders? The Anders, that's a vegetable. We have to specify.
We've had 3. Rosalind, Zarek.
Lee was acting president.
Lee was president.
And Lee was acting president, so we're at 4 presidents right now? Okay.
Yeah. Something to think
For some
about.
reason, 5 sticks in my mind, but I don't know that that's what you said, so.
I do know what I said, but I'm not going to own it because you're not going to go back and listen.
The number 5 being important in Battlestar Galactica?
No way.
No, that can't be.
What?
No, that can't be.
They wouldn't make a stretch like that happen at the last possible minute just to satisfy their own egotistical desires. Not in this show.
The next president in Battlestar is actually George Martin, the 5th Beatle. He just walks in and he's like, yeah, it's me, and we all cheer.
All right, well, we'll be back with that next week. But before we get there, we got to say thanks to Jeremy Siegel. Jeremy, thanks for doing our theme music. You can find more of Jeremy's work at jeremysiegel42.bandcamp.com.
And thanks to Angry Duck Time Machine on Instagram for the podcast artwork.
Aaron, thanks for editing this podcast and making us sound like coherent individuals instead of rambling word salad messes. We appreciate you.
Taking out all the aphasia for us. Cut. Yeah, and thanks, listener, for being here. If you want to talk more about what's just happened and how great Ellen Ty is, you get on down in the Discord. And I just know that Ryan wants to hear your thesis on Ellen Ty.
Yeah. Come to the Discord, join in the spoiler chat section, and we can all have a good laugh at all the things that we talked about today.
All right. We'll see you next week, Internet.